Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, after what seemed like an eternity, there was a month-long shutdown hiatus, but it's just a see you later. It's not a goodbye for good. We are back with the special stage, and what a way to kick off the new life, the new chapter of the special stage, then with some Joker racing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Joker series. We'll get into that in just a moment. My name, Mac Nelson. I will be your lone voice here in the booth tonight for what is going to be, I am sure of it, an incredible race here tonight. Also, you know the vibes. Shout out TrackCams22, man. They provide all the car and track cameras that you see here in the special stage Joker series and across all of the Racer Nexus broadcast. It's been a very, very slow, might I add, kind of a almost 2-week, 3-week, I mean, heck, it might even be close to a month, I'm not entirely sure, break that the special stage took, but the boss man, Matt Schlosser, he said, we're going back racing. And that's exactly what we plan to do here tonight at Navarra for our race number 1. It is going to be at Navarra. It is going to be in the GT86. This is the Toyota GT86. Yes, if you're not familiar with the special stage Joker series, we're going to be doing 2 separate tracks here tonight, so you're getting 2 different locations. You're getting 2 different cars. These drivers had 1 shot qualifying for every single one of these races. So 1 shot qualifying. We're going to be racing for 15 minutes here, and then we're going to do something that I, in my short broadcast career, have never done. I'm going to have to load into a new session and get everything switched over, so the commercial break's going to be a little longer than normal here tonight. Hope you guys do enjoy that. Let's go over your starting grid for tonight's race. It's going to be Tom Monhemius, who qualifies on pole with Alex Zekas. On the outside of him, row number 2, going to go to Sean Winkler and the boss man, Matt Schlosser. P5 going to Jake Wilshire, with P6 being Robbie Swan. P7, Damian Danya, he's been busy this week in a lot of league races. Josh Heege in P8. Pat Wilson will be P9 with Alex Good starting outside row number 5. Row number 6 is going to see Greg Johnson with Benny Smith. Row number 7 is going to be Nate Anderson, I apologize. Elijah Smith in P14. We are green flag racing here at Navarra. And I would like to say, hear the roar of the GT86, but unfortunately, not too much roar to have there. Corey Crowell, Joseph Pascucci, and Tommy Cook all going to be rounding out your grid. Tom Monhemius out to a flying start after turn number 1. He is very, very closely followed by the JMR driver, Alex Zekas, the Melbourne, Victoria, Australia driver. Not sure if it's Australia or South Australia, so I didn't want to get that wrong. He will be in P2, but look at Sean Winkler already threatening for an overtake on Alex Zekas here. Only a few corners in. It's going to be chaotic as we go through the first sector of the very first lap here at Navarra. As I would like to see kind of what happened there. It looks like it's going to be Elijah Smith who's going to be in the midst of most of this. Oh, yeah, I mean, that's just hard racing. At the end of the day, that's kind of just hard racing. Obviously, no yellow flags going to be thrown here in the Special Stage Joker Series. Looking at our weather here tonight, though, it is going to be a nice 70 degrees. 79 track temperature, so it's not going to be too hot. A lot of these drivers are going to experience fair amounts of grip out of their tires. Humidity 44%, so the air's not going to feel very thick for these drivers. It's not going to really mess up their lap times in any way, shape, or form. Still big battle going on here between Tom Monhemius and Alex Zekas. These two guys going to always be towards the top when it comes towards the grid here at Special Stage. They run a number of series here. They all ran in what I believe was the Special Stage IndyCar Series on Friday, GT4s on Sundays, Street Stocks on Mondays. Not sure if they ran the FIA Cross Car Series over on Thursdays. That was with big boss man Rob Campbell. He was the one that called and produced that, so I can't speak on that, but these guys, they try to make their way out to every single Special Stage race. It's going to be a little bit of contact on the back of Alex Zekas there from Tom Monhemius. That's going to allow Sean Winkler to catch up in that nice double right-hander. That's going to be a very big overtaking point for these drivers. Now we've got a little bit of collapse. We've got a little bit of a group up here in the grid. We've now got the top 5 drivers all battling for a position. Robbie Swan here, the Oswego, New York driver. He is trying to get into the mix with what, in my opinion, is a bunch of Special Stage legends, as it's going to be Matt Schlosser, who is just run up and done up by Robbie Swan in that number 3. The nice Toyota machine there of Robbie Swan. He's now going to clinch the maneuver. Yes, he's going to be around Matt Schlosser. That is going to be that move done by Robbie Swan. What a fantastic move by him. Nate Anderson has had to jump to the pits for a collision, I believe, with the track fence is what I'm seeing. So it's going to be real high speed here into these 3 consecutive corners. Here to start the lap at Navarra, making our way through the second sector now. As it's going to be Damian Dania who has closed in on Jake Wilshire, and in a very, very quick fashion, might I add. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this driver, Damian Dania, he got on the podium in the last Special Stage race that I called. That was unfortunately before the closing and restructuring. So Matt Schlosser, unfortunately, being the big, awesome boss man that he is, running 4 series a week, that is very, very time consuming. He wanted to kind of take a break, restructure things, and so now plans are going forward to have Special Stage aired weekly instead of separating everything out over a multitude of series. So it's good to hear that Matt Schlosser was able to get, you know, that race going. Or I shouldn't say that race exactly, but, you know, the series as a whole. And I also apologize about the time clock. Unfortunately, I do not have the right kind of code inputted into the timing tower. I'll fix that right now for you fine viewers. I appreciate all of you guys coming out, supporting the Special Stage. It sure does mean a lot. I know it means a lot to the big boss man, Matt Schlosser. It means a lot to all the drivers here in the Special Stage. That's going to be Damian Daniel with a double overtake Josh Higgy and Jake Wilshire. 9 minutes and 15 seconds to go here in race number 1. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, we will be going to Lakeland. Yes, USA International. That is the asphalt version. We're going to be going there for our race number 2. That's going to be coming up very, very shortly. But for now, we have a battle here in Navarra. Damian Dania and Jake Wilshire trying to joust for that P6 position. Damian Dania choosing to set his car all the way over to the left. It's going to prep him for this next set of corners here. We go into a left-hander. And Damian Dania has to be very careful. Jake Wilshire is ahead here, yes, but Josh Higgy, who we know, very, very aggressive. He rarely likes to keep his position on the grid. He loves to keep moving up, no matter how good he currently has it. He is never, ever content unless he is on the top step of that podium. We've seen it once in the year of 2026, or in the 2026 season, I should say. Part of me in the back of my head thinks he might be a 2-time winner this year, but I think it might just be 1. As we head down the start-finish straight, drivers starting lap number 6. It's still all Zekas here, as he has a 6.2 lead over Sean Winkler. Sean Winkler is doing Alex Zekas a very big favor here by keeping all of these drivers here behind him. Sean Winkler, very good on the defense. If you find him up towards the top of the grid, it's going to be very, very difficult to get that position from him. So Sean Winkler, everybody that comes batting, he keeps knocking him out of the park, and all that's doing is extending the lead for Alex Zekas. But now we've got a nice 3-way battle here. Robbie Swan, Tom Monhemius, and Matt Schlosser. Robbie Swan, you know, I could be a casual here, but very, very certain that I have not called a race that Robbie Swan has been in. So I'm not entirely sure how this will all boil down. Robbie Swan, though, currently rolling with the heavy hitters and proving he belongs. Currently running in P3. Looking to keep that nice run up here into the latter stage of this race number 1. Going to be a big battle now between Damian Dania and Alex Good. Damian Dania with a little bit of a fall off in his pace. He has fallen behind Josh Higgy again. Now falling. Never mind, I take that back. Josh Higgy is very, very wide around that right-handed hairpin. That's going to cost him a spot. Alex Good, or it's going to cost him 2 spots, I apologize. Alex Good and both Damian Dania have now passed him, so that is going to be Josh Higgy now sitting in P9. Or I take that back, now he sits in P10 because the Canadian driver, the 150 of Greg Johnson, has passed Josh Higgy as well. So in the span of 1 lap, Josh Higgy from P6 all the way down to P10, it's not looking too great for him. Alex Zekas now. I was trying to figure out what that rumbling was. I believe we have a car sitting in the pit lane trying to get repaired. I do believe that is Corey Crowell or Kroll. I very much apologize. As we're 4 wide here into the corner, 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Alex Zekas off the track just a little bit, so it's going to wave the yellow flag. They're going to keep racing, though. These drivers here in the special stage, very, very respectful, very clean. And if a car goes off track a little bit and the yellow flag does come out for that sector, you know, they're pretty reasonable people. They're still going to race. But now Alex Zekas, who unfortunately was kind of bullied to the outside of the track for 2 sets of right-handed corners, he now moves from P1 to all the way down to P5. I mean, I thought, wow, this is getting very, very close. Sean Winkler now, who is not the fastest. He's actually the slowest of these 5 drivers currently. So the slowest driver currently leading. It's going to be very, very interesting as we get down to these final few laps. What exactly does Robbie Swan have in the tank He's going to have an inside overtake. That may be just a little bit of track limits there, but for now, it is clean and good. We are still racing. Robbie Swan, incredible overtake into the high-speed turn number 1. As now Sean Winkler has fought back Tom Monhemius, Matt Schlosser, and Alex Zekis, all trying to find a way around, basically bump drafting through these high-speed corners. Now we go down the very bumpy hill into, I cannot remember the turn name. I do very much apologize. This is my first time calling a race at Navarra. I've actually never raced here as well, so very new to the whole Navarra thing. And we've got the new format going down on the Joker Series. That's going to be contact between Robbie Swan and Tom Monhemius. For the 007 of Tom Monhemius, the Cornwall driver, having to fight a lot of uphill battles here. He now insists on pushing Sean Winkler in that number 720. He now dips to the outside. He's going to try to make some sort of a move here in maybe the second, if not the second, then maybe the third right-hander to start this lap. If you can get a good run into the corner, you'll have a great result when you come out of the corner. Slow in, fast out, basic rules of racing here on the iRacing official service. You want all your speed to be on the exit. 2.5 minutes to go. Alex Zekis has fought back up into P3. A little bit of wheel spin there on the curb. That's going to really hurt his timing as we get ready to start the last sector of lap number 11. 1 minute 10s across the board for all these guys. 1 minute 9.50 is going to be your fastest lap. Or no, I apologize. That's going to be the fastest lap of last lap's ran. That was Josh Heege who did that. But if we look towards the top 5 here, Tom Monhemius still going to be the slowest out there right now. As Sean Winkler, Alex Zekis basically tying on last lap time. Big contact in the third right-hander. Turn number 3. Big contact, but I mean, all these guys are still going. 1.5 minutes. Damian Dania is also in a big position here to pass maybe Jake Wilshire. Through the kink. Heavy braking zone on the next corner, coming down the hill. You can see all the pressure of those cars going towards the front, all the weight as they slam on those brakes, trying to get the car slowed down. Very, very tricky braking zone, and now Alex Zekis is going to spin off a hit by who I believe was Sean Winkler. Sean Winkler is going to end up around and not Alex Zekis. So Alex Zekis initially getting spun into the corner, but coming out of the corner, it ended up being an Uno reverse card. And Alex Zekis is the one that's going. Wow, and Sean Winkler is the one that's around. As there was so much chaos there, I'm not entirely sure if this is going to be our last lap of the race. I think it should be, based on time. We'll have to go back and take a look at that incident between Winkler and Zekis here very shortly. But we've still got a race to depict here. It's going to be a big drag race down the hill for Robbie Swan and Matt Schlosser. How great would it be for Matt Schlosser? He felt the grief. He felt the pressure of shutting down the special stage. He knew he had to open it up. He knew he could not keep these guys from racing around the right-hander. We've got one more chance for Matt Schlosser. He's not going to get it. Robbie Swan's going to take race number 1. Matt Schlosser, Tom Monhemius going to round out your podium. Alex Zekis, after what I believe was pandemonium, he ends up P4. Josh Heege rounding out the top 5. Up 3 spots. He started the race P8, but our winner, Robbie Swan, up 5 spots from where he started, and he will be race number 1 winner. So we'll go back and take a look at what exactly happened between these two. Coming down into the right-hander, Sean Winkler just carried way too much speed there. Way too much speed, got into the back of Alex Zekas. Alex Zekas has no choice but to turn out of the way, and in doing so, inadvertently turned the 720 of Sean Winkler. But to be honest with you, I know Sean Winkler, very clean driver, very respectful. I'm honestly confident that he prefers that way to go about it, because he is the last person to want to turn someone like Alex Zekas. Those two have massive amounts of respect for each other. So going into your results of the race, Robbie Swan led 2 laps. That's all that mattered. Matt Schlosser, the Interstellar SRV driver, finishing in P2, with Tom Monhemius finishing in P3. Alex Zekas is, or I'm sorry, I apologize. Alex Zekas is going to be in P4 with Josh Heege in P5, Jake Wilshire, Damian Dania, Greg Johnson, Alex Good, and Benny Smith are going to round out your top 10. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do something for the first time that I haven't done really ever. I'm going to get out of the session, get into the new one, and when we come back from commercial break, we will be flown all the way back to the States, to Lakeland, Florida, USA International, for the second race of the Special Stage Joker Series here in 2026. We'll be right back.
There might be some rain coming through. We expect rain soon. Rain is close. The session has been declared wet. No sign of this rain stopping. Rain is clearing up. Rain should be gone for now. Nothing but sunshine all day.
there's contact very nearly. He just to the outside line. He breaks so much later. Masker can't defend. He's got the outside line for the second part, and he can't hold on.
Going the long way around. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead as they all come to the line. Who is going to take it in the end?
And here comes Lockwood. He's going to make the move to the outside. Quinn tries to force him off a little bit, but there he goes. It's going to be side by side through turn 1.
Will he be able to cover him off? He does. Weaving back to the left-hand side. Reynolds is trying everything. The kitchen sink is being thrown at it.
They're leaning on each other. Coming into turn number 3. It's going to be a drag race through 3 and 4. Coming back to the line. Here comes Frisch on the bottom. Richard's going to hold the inside. Tries to be the late breaker here. They're going to be side by side through the final chicane. They bang doors, but keep it clean.
As they're still 4 wide on the run down into the back straightaway. Demerit's looking for a line as well. What is going on in Michigan?
Novak into the fence. They're still beating and banging.
Oh
and
my
to the line.
He is much faster coming through there. Is there damage on Challenger? Abramitis is ahead. There's going to be a race to the line. Who is going to get it?
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, the drivers of the Special Stage Joker Series have boarded their virtual flight all the way from Navarra to Florida here. Lakeland International. USA International, I should say. I apologize. How could I? How could I? Such an iconic and prestigious track here on the iRacing official service. One of the free tracks that you get when you do sign up to the service. So a lot of oval drivers, dirt or asphalt, find themselves at Lakeland quite a bit in those rookie series. Practice just finishing up here at Lakeland. Like I said, these drivers boarded a plane very, very quick. Like one of those, you know, military secret things that everybody conspiracizes about, if that's even a word. They can fly like 900 miles an hour or whatever. You guys might not be on the conspiracy side of TikTok like I am. Maybe I'm just a little crazy like that. Ladies and gentlemen, my name, of course, Mac Nelson again. Here, broadcasting the second race of our Joker series. It's going to be here at USA International. The nice 6/10 of a mile oval. Like I said, a lot of drivers experience it very early on in their iRacing career, whether that be in the Ford Legend cars, or the street stocks, or the limited late models when you get to D-Class. They often race at the free tracks like USA International. And if you're just now tuning in, it was an absolute burner at Navarra. Incredible race. It saw Alex Zekas going all over the place when it came to track position. Sean Winkler, unfortunately, not able to finish exactly where he wanted to. And I have now realized that since loading into a new session here, I'm not going to have the results or information from the first race. And, well, when you have a peanut brain like myself, I did indeed forget the running order of the top 5. So that's going to be a little bit on me. I do know Robbie Swan won. Robbie Swan did take the win at Navarra. Funny enough, he is the only guy to not take the track so far here tonight. And that's going to be so strange. It's going to be very, very difficult, I would imagine, to make the adjustment from road course to oval in that short of time. But it is the Mazda MX-5 at the end of the day, one of the easiest cars to drive on the iRacing official service. However, in it being one of the easiest cars, it also means it's one of the toughest to master. So it's going to be one-shot qualifying. As I apologize, I was talking business with the big boss man, Matt Schlosser. So 5-minute qualifying. These guys are going to have 1 lap to get it done. And who better than to hop on board? Or who better to hop on board with than the boss man himself, the commish of the league, Matt Schlosser, trying to warm up those tires. He's only going to have 1 shot at this. He's got to get it right. As a matter of fact, we'll go on board with the boss man, number 400 Interstellar SRV driver, Matt Schlosser. And it's going to be chaos in the only qualifying lap that he gets. Matt Schlosser not able to get things done there. Damian Dania going out in front with a 24.68. That's going to be his qualifying time, followed by Tom Monhemius, just 0.08 behind. He runs a 24.77. It's going to be a 0.93 for Jake Wilshire. And then you get up into Alex Zekas. Or actually, I take that back, into Steven Thompson, who has now run a 25.01. Damian Dania is going to best his lap. However, I don't believe it's going to count. Yeah, 1-shot qualifying. So here we have Corey Kroll, part of Oak Harbor, Ohio. Doing it for all the Ohioan drivers out there. Fair amount of them, to be honest with you, on the iRacing official service. He's going to get 1 shot at this. Coming down the back straight now. Carrying speeds of 99 miles an hour into the corner, slowing it down so far as to 76. To be fair, I think that's a lot of speed going around that corner. We'll see. Past the line, it's going to be a 24.87. That's going to put Corey Kroll into P3. I think it's Crowell, actually. I do apologize. I had like an epiphany of me being messaged saying, I believe it is Crowell. I'm not 100% sure. We'll ride with John Winkler, as I don't have anything in my documentation about the pronunciation of his last name. So I do so dearly apologize if that is not correct. Mr. Corey, number 20, MX-5, here tonight, blessing us with your great racecraft and driver ability. If you would care to DM me on how to pronounce the name, I will make sure I never, ever, ever do it again. That's going to be pretty much everybody qualifying. Matt Schlosser not able to submit a lap. Josh Heege hit the wall on his as well. Robbie Swan not putting down a time. So the Oswego driver going to start from the back here in heat race number 2. If you're familiar with the special stage, you know that they like to do the inverts on the second race. So 100% championship payout, even though the field is fully inverted. We're not doing that here. Hence why we had the qualifying. It's going to be one-shot qualifying for each race. No invert. 100% championship payout in both races. So very, very good information to know. I believe Damian Dania is still sitting here lapping, just getting the practice in while he can. Not a bad idea whatsoever. Curaçaoan driver from Willemstad. Curaçao going to their first, I believe, World Cup this year. The World Cup hosted in the great continent of North America. Game's going to be taking place in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. I'm trying very, very hard to get some tickets to some sort of Miami World Cup game. If you guys out there have any knowledge or any connections on how you can get me hooked up with a World Cup ticket, I know I'm just a D- tier race broadcaster in the sim racing world, in the iRacing world, even more narrowly. But if there's any way you can get me a ticket to a World Cup game, let me know, gentlemen. Let me know. As I ran the grid a little too late last time around, so we'll pick things up. And we'll speed up the process here, as it's going to be Damian Dania who qualified on pole with Tom Monhemius in P2. P3 going to go to Corey Crowell. Jake Wilshire on his outside. Row number 3 is going to be Greg Johnson and Steven Thompson. Row number 4 is going to be Alex Zekis, with P8 being Sean Winkler. Row number 5 sees Alex Good with Elijah Smith in the Hendrick Motorsports wrap on his outside. P11 going to go to Tommy Cook, with P12 being Bernie Smith. Row number 7, Joseph Pascucci and Pat Wilson. Row number 8, Josh Heege and Matt Schlosser, with row number 9 going to Robbie Swan, who still has not brought his car onto the grid. And with that being said, I believe we have indeed he has missed a grid, so I'm not sure if he is just planning to not race this race or what, but his opportunity has been squandered. He will have to start from the pits if he wants to participate in this race here. As you can hear the roar of those Miatas as they get started. As we'll have 15 minutes to go. It's going to be one heck of a race. We'll have to see what Matt Schlosser can do, coming from all the way in the back. He's only got 15 minutes. The special stage is used to seeing 20-minute heats. We have now condensed it because of the session change and the track change and all that. We are now doing 15-minute races. So it's going to be a little bit of a slower time. Or, I mean, it's going to be a little faster of a time to get in front, get up those grid positions. So qualifying going to be ever so important in this Joker Series. Joker Series, obviously, being special stages, kind of fun off-series that they do. It's going to take place over the entire course of the year. It's not going to be weekly. It is going to be independent point standings from any of the other series that they do decide to run. So Joker Series is strictly going to be Joker Series. So drivers can really choose to experiment or lock in on the quirkiness. But Damian Dania is going to have the button, and here at USA International, he pulls it early. We are green here in Lakeland. As it's going to be a car around already. I believe that is Sean Winkler. As you see the nice candid shot of these guys coming around the bankings. Lap number 1 has been completed. And Sean Winkler, unfortunately, going to be kind of the big loser here, down 8 spots already. But that means Matt Schlosser and others have likeliness to go up. He is already up 4 spots into P12. Big movement here, and that's going to be the Moza Racing number 95 of Jake Wilshire that goes around. There's going to be big contact in the back. Greg Johnson's going to narrowly avoid it. Tommy Cook is out of there. Pat Wilson, more than likely going to follow suit. Cannot move the car. They are back in the pits. Greg Johnson going to be there as well. Jake Wilshire, I'm not entirely sure how he ended up in a position to where he can keep going. We'll go back and take a look at it. Yeah, it's going to start a little bit in front of him, honestly. And, oh, yeah, the double, or the 200, I apologize. Yeah, the 200 of Tommy Cook coming across, catching Patrick Wilson square in the front. And you can see that left tire spinning, but that car is going nowhere. So very, very unfortunate for the likes of those 3, or actually 4 drivers. Like I said, Jake Wilshire somehow still keeping it out on track. Damian Dania going to post your fastest lap that last time around. Only to be beaten by Corey Crowell in the number 20. In that black and green Mazda. Almost looks like an Optic Texas. As they are both Monster Energy themed and branded, so it does indeed make sense. Alex Zekas now in P3 in that 49 Mazda, the Melbourne Victoria driver. Stephen Thompson following closely behind. Stephen Thompson, I'm sure, is very, very happy to be back in the special stage and racing. He was a vet of the special stage, took place in what I believe was all 4 series that went down every single week here in the special stage. As it's going to be a 23.94 for Stephen Thompson last time around, and that's actually going to be faster than all 3 cars in front of him. So Stephen Thompson currently showing a lot of good pace here at USA. Field kind of starting to single file out. We're not really getting the battles that we were in the first few laps. The 015 of Joseph Pescucci. Damian Dania now out in front. He's still holding it down on Corey Crowell. Elijah Smith in the number 82 Mazda, trying to make it stick in that Hendricks Motorsports. And it's crazy, you know, even though the Miata is such a plain car, I still see very, very good wraps for it. And the Mazda, I mean, back when I first got started on the iRacing official service back in 2019, the Mazdas had no cool wraps, man. Nobody was really caring, but now they look so dang good. I think they did have a body update in one of the recent builds. It kind of made everything look a little better. I mean, of course, the graphics overhaul that we saw last summer, a big, big keynote for the iRacing development team as they try to keep pushing this engine graphically. As it is an engine from 1996, a lot of people seem to forget that. So although it has been added to and changed over the course of time, its roots are still back in the very late 90s. Matt Schlosser up 10 spots in P6, trying to get around Elijah Smith. He's going to do so, and now he's going to stick his car to the outside, but swerving to the outside like that's really going to kill his mid-corner momentum. Elijah Smith might have a run here. We'll go on board. So although he started the race in front of Matt Schlosser, Elijah Smith cannot catch back up to the boss man who just overtook him 2 laps prior. Now he faces a very hungry Josh Heege, who rounded out the top 5 last race. He finished P5 at Navarra. He is trying his hardest to get himself into a position where he can overtake Elijah Smith and then eventually go for Matt Schlosser. Damian Daniel, Corey Crowell having a side-by-side battle for the lead. 8.5 minutes to go here at Lakeland. Damian Daniel had been leading pretty much every lap. Corey Crowell trying his hardest in that Monster Energy Miata. The number 20 camp would be very, very pleased if they could get a win here tonight. Oh, and it's going to be contact between Damian Daniel and Corey Crowell. That's going to allow Alex Zekas to insert himself into this leading fight, as he is going to try to set his WeatherTech Mazda down low as far close to the yellow line as he can. I mean, now coming around turns 3 and 4. Heading back onto the start straight. 7.5 minutes to go. These guys are busting out about 24-second laps. So we've got about 13, 14, maybe 15 laps remaining here, as it's going to be a very, very big battle here up front. This is going to be your closest battle on the track. Although Elijah Smith did just have a little bit of a moment. We'll have to go back and take a look at that. He has the meatball flag. We'll be right back with this leading fight here in just a second. And Elijah Smith, I mean, he doesn't even have a front end on that car. I'm not entirely sure what happened to him. I'm sure it was maybe catching a little bit of the wall. As now Alex Zekas has asserted himself on that top line. Steven Thompson's going to fill in the gap. He's going to try to side with the bottom feeders through these corners. And if you know anything about USA International, you know that the inside is key, whether you're on the dirt or asphalt layout. Plant your car down low. It's going to be very hard for these cars to pass around the outside, especially for how low power they indeed are. But Alex Zekas is doing a very good job of keeping up and even beating the momentum of Steven Thompson. Even though his mid-corner speed is going to be a lot higher, which means he can't get the car planted as well. So typically the runs coming out of the corner are not going to be as good if you're in that second or third line as they would be if you were in that first line. But Alex Zekas is doing a very good job of making whatever line he picks the optimal line. Corey Crowell still trying to fight Damian Daniel here. Daniel in that 198, going to try to squeeze him to the bottom of the track. It's going to work as well. So top 5 go back to a single file format. As we get set to finish up here, Joker Series number 1 for 2026. Driver interviews will be following this race here, so make sure to stay tuned to hear what some of the drivers of the special stage have to say. I also want to give a big shout out to Apex Sim Racing. If you're in the market for any sim racing accessory, whether it be a wheelbase, pedals, audio, monitors, chassis, it does not matter. Apex Sim Racing is your one-stop shop for anything sim racing. You can shop the most popular brands and even create yourself a bundle on the website. Use code RACERNEXUS for 5% off your order there. Also, big shout out once again to Track Cams for Gourmets. That's TrackCams22.com. They provide all the car and track cameras you see here tonight and across all of the Racer Nexus broadcasts. So what seems to be a difficult night for Corey Crowell, might be a very good night for Damian Dania, who had his moments at Navarra, but I believe it was only a P8 that he could muster up. Damian Dania, obviously very talented, young and upcoming driver on the iRacing official service. I see him in a multitude of leagues across the week. So he is a young gun, just hungry to get better. Trying to hop in all these league races and be an absolute sponge for any info that maybe the vets can give him. He is leading right now, though. But he has got a bunch of hungry cars behind him. Corey Crowell, Alex Zekas, Matt Schlosser, and Steven Thompson are going to make up your top 5. But don't count out Josh Higgy, because he sits just 2/10 behind Steven Thompson. And with 3 minutes to go, if there's any sort of contact between these top 3 cars, that's going to open the door for the likes of Schlosser, for the likes of Thompson and Higgy to maybe knock on the door and get themselves a position very, very late in this race. Drivers starting lap number 31 now. Damian Dania in the 198. Keeping it down to the bottom. Corey Crowell trying his best to get that run right. It's a very, very difficult thing timing these runs. Alex Zekas knows that and is going to swallow up that space before Corey Crowell can settle back down. Very, very opportunistic driving out of Alex Zekas. That's another very, very tough thing to deal with here at USA. If you do go for the overtake and you end up washing up, you've got to get back down on the bottom quick. Or what happened to Corey Crowell will happen to you, and you will be back a position, maybe even 2, as the boss man, Matt Schlosser, with a dented front end, is going to try his best to get around Corey Crowell as well. He's all but done it. The number 400 Interstellar SRV driver, Matt Schlosser, the Frederick, Maryland driver in P3 right now, up 13 spots. He started this race P16. He currently sits P3, and he's banging doors with Damian Dania of the 198. He once more, 16 spots is what, 15 spots is what he's looking for. He's up 13. He'll sit on the bronze step of the podium if the race were to end right now. But he chooses more. And will that high risk, high reward pay him or break him? Corey Crowell now into the bottom side of Damian Dania. That's going to be a lot of contact. He's up on the apron. Alex Zekas taking every opportunity he can. He now leads with less than a minute left here at USA. Coming across the start-finish line, we have 2 laps to go. Damian Dania now holding off second place. He fought Corey Crowell tooth and nail all night, and when the opportunity arose, it ended up being Alex Zekas who jumped at the opportunity and got out in front. We'll see if Barney's waving it. Yes, he is. White flag in the air. One more time around Lakeland. Corey Crowell, Damian Dania have one more opportunity, but has it been squandered? I believe it has around the final corner. Alex Zekas is going to be your race winner here tonight at USA. Damian Dania in second, Corey Crowell P3, Matt Schlosser up 12 spots into P4, and Steven Thompson with a very good top 5 finish. Josh Higgy just missing out, up 9 spots from P15 to P6. He almost had himself a double top 5 on the night, but it was not to be. Wow, so Alex Zekas gets it done. Wow, what a finish. What a run here at USA. What a run at Navarra as well. And shout out to these drivers. They got on a plane. Got here within 7 minutes. No jet lag. They're right in the car. They're hooping. As I have been notified in chat, actually. Corey Kroll. Okay, I was right. It was Kroll. Okay. Fantastic. I went that entire race number 2 saying it incorrectly, but I'm not going to get it incorrect this time. I do promise. Speaking of, first guest in the booth tonight is going to be the number 20 driver of Corey Kroll. Corey, I'm sorry, I didn't read your chat until now, so I do apologize. I went that whole second race mispronouncing it, but I promise, now I will not do it. You had a good night. Tell me how it went.
Yeah, the first race there at Navarra, I'm new to it, so I ended up starting in the back. I went off track on my qualifying lap, and then there was an incident. I tried to go around it, almost tagged the wall on the left side, cut back across, and I caught the barrier, ruined my rear end, and then so I had a meat ball. So that was it. But yeah, coming in here, I'm an oval guy, so never ran here on the MX5s, but man, that was a blast. You know, Damien, Alex, Matt up there, Steven was up there. You know, the tight racing, you know, side by side for a lot of it. It was fun. Yeah, this thing that they got going on here is pretty fun.
Yeah, it seemed like you guys were having a blast out there at Navarra and at USA. But tell me, being the Joker series and being that it's not ran weekly, with the good result that you had here tonight, is the Joker series something you want to try to pursue and maybe by the end of the year be the Joker series champion? Or is it just something you kind of run just to have a little fun with it?
Well, you know, Matt actually messaged me last October, and he messaged me on iRacing. I didn't see it, and it was for the Dirt series. So then when I did finally see it the other day, I messaged him asking what he's got going on, and he told me this, and I was like, my Fridays are pretty open, so let's try it. I know I can only do a couple for right now because like next week I will be in a business trip in Vegas, but. Yeah, dude, if I can run this, I will for sure be running this. This was a blast, man. It was like, I do my own thing, and it's stressful as the admin, as the league owner. Here I can just kind of let all that go and just go out there and race and have fun. All these guys up front, man, they were bumping doors and everything was clean. It was great. So yeah, if I can run it, I will. Hopefully in the future that it continues, and then yeah, maybe I can run for that championship.
Yeah, of course. And fun fact, I will also be in Vegas for a business trip. I'm sure for the same thing. As that's fun. That's cool. But before I let you go here tonight, celebrate. You had a good run here. Is there anybody you would like to thank or shout out for the performance?
Yeah, I'd have to thank you for the broadcast, Matt for running this. Anybody else that's involved in this league, I appreciate all them. Appreciate them letting me come out and race. And just everybody that's tuning in, watching, everybody that's racing, that's participating, appreciate it. We want to be able to do it without you guys, all of you. So yeah, just everybody, I appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate the kind words, and we'll let you get out of here and celebrate, and hopefully, whether it be in one of the other special stage series or the Joker series, hopefully we see you back up here in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks.
So that was Corey Kroll, your P3 finisher here tonight. Now, keeping on that same page, we're going to go up one position to P2 finisher on the night, Damien Dania. Damien, how you doing?
I'm good. It was a lot of fun, so I'm happy.
Yeah, well, the first race at Navarra unfortunately didn't grant you as good of a result as it did here at USA. Can you walk me through kind of the turmoils that you had to go through in the first race at Navarra?
Oh, I only practiced for 5 minutes, so that was the sole reason.
Oh, well.
I haven't driven that car in like more than a year, and I have never driven that track. So I'm happy I even finished, considering I had 5 minutes of practice for the race.
Well, that's funny. Well, we'll switch it up to Lakeland
Yeah.
then. Here at USA, you fought tooth and nail almost every single lap with Corey, with Alex. You didn't get to have your, what seems like a regular battle with the boss man, Matt Schlosser, but you did have a very, very tough race when it came to defending your position. If you had to grade yourself, using typical school grades, A, B, C, D, F, what do you think you'd grade yourself on your defense here tonight and just the overall drive?
Probably a B, because I kind of wrecked my tires. So I was stacking everyone up. But, and I've never driven this car on anything other than a road course or a super speedway before. So I with the 9 minutes of practice for the race was the only bit of oval practice I ever got. So it was a little bit difficult to actually do what I wanted to, but I was able to position the car pretty decently, and I'm happy with how I did. And second place is way better than I expected to do. So yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, well, you found it. You put it all together here at USA. We'll let you get out of here and celebrate. But before we do, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out for the performance here tonight?
Big shout out to all the guys I raced today. That was a lot of fun, great battles. Big shout out to you, of course, and the broadcasters. Big shout out to Matt. Big shout out to my mom. Big shout out to my dad. And that's all I got for now. I had a few friends who wanted to come race today, but they weren't able to. So it's a shame. But yeah, shout out to them as well.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, of course, and as always, hope to see you back up here in the booth, whether it be the Joker series or the other Friday series going down here on the special stage. And yeah, have yourself a wonderful night, Damien.
Yep, thank you.
Well, that's going to do it. When it comes to the racing here tonight, it was monumental. It was excellent. We'll show you the results. 5 laps led for Alex Zekas. That's all it took for the JMR driver to be the champion of tonight. Damian Dania in P2. Corey Kroll in P3. Matt Schlosser, P4. Steven Thompson rounds out the top 5. Then you have Hege, Wilshire, Smith, Winkler, and Pascucci in P10. That's going to round out your top 10 drivers. Tom Monhemius in P11, Alex Good, Elijah Smith, Pat Wilson, Tommy Cook, Greg Johnson, rounding out your grid. Robbie Swan never took the stage. He never took the grid, so not participating here in lap 1. However, he still got the he still got the win in race 1 tonight. First night back for me in the special stage. My words were jumbled all night. I mean, it's just an absolute pleasure. It's an honor. And, I mean, it's really fun to be here. Hope you guys did enjoy the Joker series here tonight for the special stage. Once again, big shout out to Apex Sim Racing. Make sure you use that code RacerNexus for 5% off. Big shout out to TrackCams for Gourmets as well. That's TrackCams22.com. for providing all the car and track cameras you see here tonight and across all of the Racer Nexus broadcast network. My name, Mac Nelson. I was on your production. I was on your commentary tonight. You were watching the special stage Joker series. Cannot wait to see you guys again. But it's not going to be for a while because I am also leaving late Sunday night to go to the big city of Las Vegas for a convention of some sorts. Has to do with construction and agriculture. So I'm really getting my my southern boy fix. Yeah, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. From everybody, take care of yourself, take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one.